it do? We back again. It's Thursday. Say that shit. We on live. Get back. We got our special guest today. We got Jock. What up? We got Sharp. What up? We got Warren. What up? We got D. What up? Yeah. We got Tay. What up? And I'm Vic. We here. We gonna go ahead and get this started. How y'all doing tonight? Let's go.
Listen. Now we needed her 2 seasons ago. Man, you gotta do what you got. I don't see it, Tom. Oh, here we go. All right. What's up? How y'all doing tonight?
What's going on?
How y'all doing?
Summer's close to an end. Happy belated birthday to me. Yes.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Hey, yo.
How old you turned?
You know.
Oh, okay.
Big Cancer energy, though. Big
all right.
Cancer energy. I make this 42 look good.
I was about to say Big 32. Big 32.
This grown, extra grown woman with the sauce, okay?
Y'all be acting up every time. Nah, but yeah, so tonight we are here talking about rebellious children. Why are they so angry, and why have they turned to the streets for love, guidance, and just support everything? Why y'all feel like that's like that right now? Because it's crazy out here. Matter of fact, Warren, I know you were looking into the current events that have happened.
Yeah, we want to send our condolences out to the family of the 2 young men that just got killed. One on 47th from Burla, and one that got killed right after the fireworks on what was that, Tuesday night? Yeah. They said right now teen violence is at an all-time high right now. And one of the reasons why we having this discussion is we trying to figure out some solutions. So we want to send our condolences to the family, and we want to just spread this conversation all over the city to see what we can do to get these kids to put these guns down and start loving on each other.
And we definitely have to go back to the old school. Our generation, it was all about the neighborhood and helping. Nowadays everybody too worried about somebody talking roughly to their children. But here's the thing, y'all. We as a people have to come together and raise these kids the right way, because they just killing everybody. Like it's in young. Young, just they out here and they wild. So it's on us as parents to be better, because these are our kids. So we're failing as parents.
Well, in order to get to the resolution, we probably need to start with the issues, right? So we have both of y'all here today just so we can have some raw facts and content as to what's really going on outside, instead of speculation from us. Charlotte, I know Charlotte reached out she made a post, and it was like a little frenzy there a little bit. But she made a post, and she decided that we needed to really have a in-person conversation about this. So and I agree, this is a topic that we don't touch on because it's such a sensitive topic. And her post was in relation to there being so many single parents, single mothers, in her post, single mothers that don't have the proper support from males sometimes to help keep the children in line. So she's saying, hey, as a parent, I tried best I knew how. I didn't have a village or a support system. But go ahead and share about that.
And it's not just that. It's when people say, y'all need to get y'all parents need to get y'all kids. Like, I hate that sometimes, because me being a parent, I know I did all I could for my kids. And me having a husband that stayed in prison. And I was young. By the time I was 20, I had 3 kids. So I'm young. I'm trying to figure it out too. So, but when they say that parents get y'all kids, and when I was like 25, I started going to church, take my kids. We was at church Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They was in the choir. My daughter was on praise team. I went to work. I did everything I had to do as a single mother. And they still did what they wanted to do. And I had to work 10-hour shifts to provide for them. And I could just remember when my kids was getting in trouble, and all 3 of them was in the system. And they'll do something, go to juvenile, they'll let them out 2 weeks. if that, a week. And I'd be so mad because I'm like, y'all need to sit them down. They need to, because they're gonna get out and do the same thing. But
So do you think, with that being said, do you think it's more so because not only the male, but because you didn't have that village? Do you think if you would have had that village to kind of help you a little bit? Because like you said, by the time you were 20, you had 3 kids. Like that's just a,
Yeah, that was
22 and I had one.
Well, I grew up with Charlotte. So back then, I want to make sure I'm on the right point. So back then, I don't know which, everybody. So the way we grew up, right? We used to go to the park, all that, right? So you didn't know who was a kid or not. She doesn't look old right now, right? So I don't know if that was her kid or her cousin, you know what I mean?
Right.
But so like catch me up. So was that around the time when everybody was outside hustling and doing Okay, cool. So the environment that they were in, so it was you versus the environment too, right?
Yeah.
So but
I feel like
that's their dad.
Yeah.
Okay, so their dad was outside.
Yeah, he was in the streets, but I felt at that time they were little. They were babies at that time. They were like 4 and 5.
Impressionable though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Impressionable.
Yeah.
So it's like, do I do what you at work all day? You doing your part as you know how. And it's not that you like, hey, whatever he's doing, I'm condoning that necessarily. This is just the lifestyle that I've been adopted into. This is what it is.
But here's the thing. By the time my kids were 13, 14, he was in jail. He was doing prison time. So it was just me. Once he went to prison in 2010, that's when I'm like, okay, it's just me and my kids now. And I gotta work all these hours. I gotta do the best that I can do. I'm trying to save my marriage and all kind of stuff, So
just battling a lot.
I was battling a lot for me, as me being by myself, and then hey, I mean, like I said, I had to work a 10-hour shift. My kids were basically at home. They couldn't go to daycare no more. They was like 14.
But nobody knew that though. So from the outside looking in, it's like, okay, they living life. They, they back when Mook was out, right? They get into the money. They living, right? Yeah. So I think like your kids and the other kids in that area, it was like, I want to be like them. You know what I mean? Versus what my mama talking about. My mama right, but my daddy and my uncle and them living, living to what we thought was living back then, right? So so how do you feel about that though? Like knowing that you was battling they daddy in a sense. You were battling 2 different environments. Y'all really weren't fighting for the same goal. It's lifestyle went.
Yeah. Well, I mean, shoot, when he was doing his thing, it was just like I was young. I was with it. I was young, I was with it. But like I said, once the indictment happened in 2000, that's when I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
It kicked in, it got real.
Yeah. Life got real.
Yeah, but I mean, prior to that though, I know I was telling them before we all walked in here, I was like, well, even though they all live like that, now I see a lot of y'all trying to do things to give back to the community, doing, you know what I mean, trying to give back. But like really having those conversations with kids to say, I know not just you, I'm just speaking in general now. Hey, I know that it looks like I'm with whatever your daddy on. But right now we trying to survive the best way we know how.
Right. So my kids my oldest son is 28, my daughter's 25, 23, and I have a 14-year-old. I got pregnant with her in 2009, and that's when me and my husband was both fighting the case at that time. But my 14-year-old, she still built tents. She's completely different. My husband got out when she was 6 years old. So we older. I had her when I was 29. So we older now. So her raising is completely different from the other kids. Yeah. But she had both parents. My mind was different. Like a lot of stuff like that. My other kids see, she don't see it.
Yeah, it happens like that.
But
sometimes.
even though I ain't gonna say, I don't even want to say the wrong thing. Even though I made mistakes.
Right.
Raising my kids, I still felt like in 2010 I tried. When they was teenagers, I tried. I'm telling you, when they got in trouble, like, listen, they was in wraparound, running rebels, Pearls for Girls, St. Charles. They all had therapists. I mean, it was, listen, I did everything that I could possibly do. So when people say y'all need to get y'all kids, I'm quite sure 90% of the women's out here then did all they could when they see these kids out here doing this, doing whatever they want to do.
I think, but having those conversations about what really happened, because I was back there too, you know what I mean? So I dealt with dudes that was hustling, and that was appealing to me. Like, you having that bag? Like, I'm finna get a couple dollars this week, today, tomorrow. It's money every day. You know what I mean? And I didn't know no better either. I didn't grow up with my parents. My grandmother raised me. She didn't come outside to see what I was doing. You know what I mean? I didn't hustle. I can't incriminate myself now, right?
Yeah.
I didn't did things, you know what I mean? And that's the environment that we came from, and that's what we were subjected to. We went to after school program, you know that we did basketball,
and that's another thing though too. I feel like these kids ain't got nothing.
They don't have anything.
Back in our days, they had open gym. What's that prime time? My husband used to go to all that. Even though he was in the streets, he still went and played basketball.
Did stuff together. We did,
and they went out here, stealing cars, not like that.
No.
So where can we start? Like, I mean, it has to start somewhere. Like, everybody always say, oh, well, we, but nobody is ever doing anything. So, I mean, I guess that's why we have this platform, because we want to start trying to get something set up for our kids so they have these different avenues instead of being outside looking for love and affection or whatever.
I think we're moving too fast. I think we're moving too fast right now, because we need to talk about what's going on. So that's the problem. Kids, people don't, families, mothers, fathers don't want to talk about what they used to do. So now your kids are trying to figure out what you used to do. When we need to get comfortable with saying, hey, yeah, I actually did all that. Because the kids think right now, you're being a hypocrite. Because I heard about you, but you won't talk about it. Because now you battling, like, whether go ahead, because Jock is here too. You go ahead. You like you was ready to say, like, hey, wait a minute.
I'm just agreeing, because a lot of time kids be assuming, like, since we older, they think we ought to loot. Like, they doing some stuff we ain't never seen before.
Right. Yeah.
So they think we can't tell them nothing. But like you said, if they don't know nothing about your past, then it's kind of like they don't know. They're just looking at you as being a square, and you know what I'm saying? But really, you done did everything. You done seen it all. Probably seen way more stuff than they did.
I think it just keep recycling. Like, I mean, like, even when I was coming up, my dad used to always preach on this. I'm sitting there like, man, I don't want to hear that. Then when you get older, you like, man, he was right. He was right about this. He was right about that. But a lot of stuff he said didn't make no sense to me. Majority, 85, 90% of the stuff he told me, it didn't make no sense until I got older, and you get your own kid and you get your own family, and you got to pay bills, and you start realizing stuff more like, man, Pops was preaching, but he was right. He was getting me ready.
Trying to save you.
Yeah.
Going through all the stuff they did.
Super loud. So it's very extremely hard when it's just a woman in the household.
It is.
So
I
wasn't raised by my mother or my father. I was raised by my grandparents. And just like she just said, they weren't coming outside to see what's going on. So in the house, they talking about church. They talking about go to work, get you a job, be a family man, do all this. But as soon as I go outside, they selling dope right here. They pimping. The ones who I see with success, real success.
What success was like to you
at that time? What success was like to you at that time?
And the neighborhood you probably was in, right?
Right. Yeah. I grew up in a high drug area. So, that's
we did
what
too.
My neighborhood was known for drugs.
Yeah.
Which you was acting too, right? Y'all was acting.
Yeah, we
I was
53206.
So your grandfather sitting up there talking about he ain't paying no $100 for no shoes. But I can go out here for about 20 minutes and make this $100 right fast. So it's hard to tell a kid who don't have a lot and don't have those voices right here and right here. Because I did 10 years in prison. And it was extremely hard being a parent from inside. And then if y'all not on one accord, because me and my baby mama went together. If y'all not on one accord, because trust me, the kids is going to feel it when you and her not getting along. Because, okay, I'm not going to see him. So the kid's not going to see him. When I call, she might not answer the phone because she mad at me, but I'm calling to check on these kids. So it's just a domino effect. We all got to be in it together. That's why I don't care if I'm uncle, this nephew, I don't care if this just little cuz, I'm going to always try to pull him to the side and try to talk to him. And we all need that help.
I think that's big though. Like having neighbors and things where you know that woman doesn't have that male presence, and being a man enough to say, hey, we about to go to the park. Can they come too? You know what I mean? So they can have it.
The problem now is these people not letting nobody say nothing to their kids.
Exactly.
I don't know them. You didn't stay next door to them for 70 years. You ain't got to know your neighbor. Oh, you know they could come over. We cutting the cake for little such and such birthday. They come over. I don't know them people.
None of that
And
happens
stay next
anymore.
door to
And
each
then
other.
And it's
too,
sad.
a lot of
It's
them. That's
sad.
because a lot of parents are so young.
Yeah.
They young.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Me and my little cousin just had this conversation. I said, I love my kids to death. Wouldn't trade them for anything. I just wish I had them later on in life, because your 20s, you don't know nothing.
Yeah.
You trying to have a good time. So as a man, think about, as a man, you want to go out, you want to meet all these chicks, you want to have fun, you want to kick it. But I got a kid at home that needs my attention.
Yeah.
I got a woman at home that's dealing with all this stuff by herself. And my mind state is I still want to go have fun, or I want to chase this money. So guess what? This woman not getting this attention. These kids not getting this attention. So when you, like you said, when you look up, you 30 years old, I need to be doing this. But about time I realize what's going on, my kids is already out here in the streets. My kids don't seem to understand why when they start to get dark, hey, where y'all at? Come on. It's 8:30. I don't care where. Come on. Because that's how I was raised. And I know what goes on after dark.
Yeah. I think that that's just tough. It depends on your background. Like you said, they're so young, they think that they're doing the right thing. And again, they're raising their children the best way they know how, based on TV, based on their surroundings, based on the internet. Like they're raising their children. Social media. Yeah, they're raising their children the best way they know how. And all they know, from what I see, what I gather as an adult, just get your kid fitted, and that's it to life. Throw them a big birthday party that they're not going to remember, and nothing else matters. Not get them a tutorer when they fail, and not show up to a parent-teacher conference, not do those things. Those things are the things that matter. But we don't talk about that stuff enough because somebody might get offended.
So just think, when you're a single parent, like she said, she working 10 hours. And this school is calling you at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, to much you need to come up here.
And you sleep.
And you sleep, or you can't leave work.
Yeah, you can.
You can't leave work. If you don't got, like you said, if y'all don't got that support system in that neighborhood, hey, can you go up there and get a little? Because I was a problem. I had, to the point when I was in elementary school, that I couldn't come to school without an escort, a parent, a guardian. Some had to sit in class with me.
Oh yeah, that was me. We stayed down the street.
For
My
real?
mama walked up the street every week.
So if you were single, think
when my
about
daddy
that.
left.
Well, no, I was a single parent with my daughter. I was fortunate enough to have a village, though. We created that. The women there, we created that at the school. So we would help each other out like that. Even when one was going on vacation or whatever, we looked out for each other in that manner. Like, your baby can stay with me from Thursday to Sunday. It's a safe place. And you're going to do the same for me. You get what I'm saying? So right now, they don't have that because they don't know what that's like. And then you got a lot of people, I don't want nobody in my business. That's because you're doing wrong.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Or you can't say when you need help because you're probably doing wrong,
Or two, you trying to make it look like something that is not. So that's another thing.
Flexing too hard.
But you also got certain situations, right, where you got certain parents that lay everything out, do everything the right way, you got all these different things they doing for the kid, and some kids still just turn. Like, some kids is just no way of stopping it. It just happened.
But we got to stop glorifying the streets.
I was just going to say, is that really,
and that's another thing
is
too.
it really the case though? Because it can be something done. It's the fact that we just not choosing to do it because, like they always say, your first kids, you own them. You the parents, you gonna make sure the second kids, you a little bit more lenient because you done had it. So they get a little bit more leeway. And people have these children and now they not own them like when they was on the first one or on the second one. These children, they keep having all these kids, so they a little bit more lenient each time.
I feel you, but I'm saying, I'm sure everybody in here knows somebody that did everything, gave this kid everything. Got them some kids grow up with all the new shoes, all the new clothes, all this, game systems, all this, and then they doing I understand that, but I'm saying some kids is raised right and they still turn.
It depends on what your right is.
And I feel like that's not right. I feel like that was that right there. What you saying? I feel like that was like me and my brother. Like my daddy. It was 6 of us. My mom, my daddy was together forever. My mama was a housewife. She cooked, clean, did everything. My daddy took care of us. Basically, we had everything. We went to church all the time. And we lived a good life. We still chose to go out there and do whatever. I chose to go out here and get pregnant at 14. My brother chose to go out here and do whatever he did to go to jail at 17. So it's like we had good parents.
Yeah.
We was raised up good.
That's why I was saying
Like,
sometimes I think
we was
it just
raised up
sometimes
good.
it just happened that way. You know what I'm saying? Where you got sometimes
Well,
it
it's
just,
that need to want to fit in too.
Every child needs something different.
Yes.
Some kids
Right.
you gotta whip
Speaking
their
of that-
ass. Some you gotta be real
Speaking
lenient
of that.
on.
Speaking of that, so my two oldest, I was so focused on them to where I felt like I lost my third son. I don't know if he felt like was putting so much attention on them because they were acting out. Then he started acting out. He was my good kid. So it's like each one of them kids, they got a mind, they different. You got to treat them all different. It's just, man, it's like, it's hard.
And sometimes as parents, we put too much burden on ourselves.
Yeah.
That's why I said, like, I love my kids to death. But I wish I had them later on when I was financially stable and stuff like that, because it's hard to raise them when you're struggling yourself.
Yeah.
And now I'm putting another child in this world and I got to feed them. And now I'm putting another one in there. A lot of it is having kids at a young age because I'm not saying this I'm not condemning nobody having an young age. I'm saying it makes it harder for us. It limits our chances in life. If I have a child at 14, 15 years old, now it's going to limit my chances of going to college. Now it's going to limit, you know what I'm saying, my chances. Okay, I want to be a nurse. Or I want to be a doctor. That, not saying it won't happen, but it might have to happen later on down the line.
I was just going to say, delayed don't mean denied.
Not at all.
Too,
not at all. But think if I'm a nurse at 20 years old, 21 years old, opposed to 31 years old.
Right.
You know, sometimes it just makes us put our life on hold because the whole focus is on feeding these kids and trying to survive now instead of thriving and being like, okay, I'm 23, I got my degree. Now what do I want to do?
But I think that comes with communication with them, though. They don't get that. They don't get enough communication to understand what's going on. Like, a lot of parents, like I know, for instance, like my daughter, I put her on my credit when she was 14. So she not ended, but when she turned 18, she had excellent credit. You get what I'm saying? Talking to them about those things and why I'm doing this for you and how this can benefit you, having more conversations like that.
We need to talk more about
finance. Because we don't. Yeah, that along with morals, values, and things that really matter, like the whole buying. I can buy you this PlayStation. I can afford it. However, have you deserved it? But I'm really buying it so I can tell my homegirl I bought you this because she just bought her kids.
A lot of parents do that though because a lot of us came up in object poverty. So us as Black people, when we start coming out of object poverty, we want to give our kids everything that we never had. So now we working all this overtime and doing all this to give these kids this stuff that we never had.
I think that's speaking about what you never had and what really mattered.
And that's,
like shoes didn't matter.
Shoes
didn't matter. Credit mattered. I knew that. Hey, say your credit should be better than this.
But it's a double-edged sword because if you don't go to school with the latest stuff on, you getting ribbed, you getting talked about, you fighting. So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
No,
because I talk to my kids about that too. You don't need every shoe that came out, but I definitely don't want to see you school looking any kind of way either.
But so it's levels to getting clean, right?
Definitely. But it's just now we in the era of Cardi's, Balenciagas, Gucci.
It's a lot easier for girls. I think more so that's on the male side. Like on the male side, it's a little bit harder for y'all because us. You know, you
y'all
go to
Rainbows
Walmart
and
get it together. You get you a good shoe in the bag, or you accessorize. And men, on the other hand, is a little bit more difficult. So for men, you gotta.
I took my daughter some stores $3.15. I said, "What? Get it
for real." Get 30 pair, all sizes.
No, but I think that we talked about that before, like how the male presence, no matter where it is, like needs to be heightened. Like men need to start telling these young boys, you don't necessarily need those things to be a man. That is not a man. You know what I mean? Being a man.
Glorifying the streets.
Well, for men, because like we said over here, women can talk about things with young girls all day long. You don't need that bag, that $2,000 bag. That doesn't make sense. I can talk to her, but when I talk to him, he like, no, I need these shoes. I need this belt. I need all this because this is the only way they're gonna see me.
Who?
Men.
Well, like no, it's some women that think that way too. We're not gonna just say it's just all men. There's some women that
women know this. I can go get an education and I can be a lawyer. I can be this. I can be that. Women feel like that. I can go get a bunch of money. No, women feel like that.
It's half and half.
I can go make money, and I don't be around no women that feel like they clothes don't make them.
I you know what? I don't either. But you could just look on Facebook and just see how people talk. the conversation don't even be about none of that. It
Maybe
be
y'all
about
don't take no
materialism.
attention.
I'm just, if you
No,
got a lot
I
of
feel like
various,
it's there.
like you
I
might
feel like
see
it's there.
it's
Is it an age?
categories.
But you feel like it's
And
there, but I
it
feel like
is
men
the age.
feel like that makes them that guy. Like
Mhm.
nothing else. It don't matter what else you got. It's some men that I know are very, very intelligent. All they talk about is how much money they make, is what I'm saying.
Because
Mhm.
that's
But
what women are drawn to.
But listen, I was really interested
A lot
in
of
you.
women, not all.
I was really interested in you because how intellectual I thought you were.
Mhm.
But you only came talking about the things that you have.
Mhm.
Now I'm not interested. That's what I'm saying.
But
Right.
you also got to remember something. You are a kind of anomaly. When you get out here and you meet some of these women, just like some of these dudes, that conversation, you might not be able to have a full conversation with these dudes. Like you can't have a full conversation. How we sit down and have intelligent conversations. You can be on the phone with somebody for 5-10 minutes and be like, man, you know what?
Well, I think he was capable. I think he just ran into so many women that were so intrigued by the money that he just started
and
going
that's
there
what
with
put
me.
in front of your
He had
face.
good conversation before he met me,
Especially
and now
if
I'm
you-
like, where the conversation?
Because
But the
especially if
money
you're on
led.
social media, and then what's the favorite thing for a woman, female call a dude out here?
A lame,
Bum
weird.
ass nigga.
Oh,
That's the favorite phrase in Milwaukee.
broke
It's a
ass
bum
nigga.
ass, broke ass nigga, all that. So dudes want to try to be the opposite,
Yeah.
and like you said, some of them just try to appear that they have money,
Dressed
don't
up-
actually have
dressed
money
up
because
bums.
I gotta look the part. That's gonna get me in the door.
But that's
So-
what I'm saying.
so
men,
just to
men
piggyback
more so
off-
feel like that than women to
Yeah.
me. Like women, I know there's women. No, y'all take that back. Y'all right.
and just to
There's
piggyback
women that
off
do
what
all that. I work here. I do this because that's all she got to offer. Yeah, so I feel y'all.
Mhm.
Okay.
She gonna dress it up because she ain't got nothing else. Ain't
Yeah.
no furniture in the house. The lights gonna get cut off. That's
Hey, I always say it be somebody in Gucci owing somebody in Levi's.
to piggyback off what he was saying. Sometimes we also glorify what we was out here doing in the streets. Not saying per se him or me,
Oh yeah.
but they tell your kids, you know, your daddy was the man out here.
Yeah.
Man, when nobody having money like dude, everybody was scared of dude. So them kids look up to that.
Yeah.
They gotta carry on the torch. Yeah.
They feel like they gotta be like their daddy and they gotta live in their footsteps. It's hard. When I was young, it's hard for a white dude in the suit to sit up here and tell me what I'm supposed to try to be, opposed to this dude who out here on the block. I'm gonna listen to the dude on the block before I listen. So we need
especially
people
if you
that
think
look
you
like
making more
us.
money.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
oh, you getting money out here. You ain't
Yeah,
doing nothing.
you don't look like you got no
Put
money.
your little tight suit on.
We was so lost. We like, man, you don't look like you got no money. And dude might have $1,000 suit on, but to us, Jordans was money. To have rims on your car was money.
You were a
So
boss.
so we need people that look more like us, representatives of us, young ladies that look like you. They gonna listen to you before they listen to this white lady.
Yeah.
Dudes that look like us, they gonna talk. They gonna listen to us more than they gonna listen to this white dude.
Right.
Sometimes they put the
True.
wrong people in position
They do.
to sit up there and talk. Because they took it to scare straight. Like you said, there was so many programs back then,
Listen,
and we
oh
we still wasn't trying to hear that.
Yeah,
They took us to
man.
Green Bay and all of that, bro. They took our shoes and you come here, I'm gonna do all this. I'm like, man, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
And some kids just got their mind made up, and it's the environment. I could be thinking positive all day. As soon as I hit that playground, my guy and them, bro, let's go over here and let's go do this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all that positivity gonna drain right into something.
Because the master's telling you, but
Yeah. So I try to keep my kids busy.
Yeah.
Track, football, basketball, play the game, whatever you want to do, because I don't want y'all to have so much time on your hands that y'all can get in trouble.
I think that goes too. Like sometimes you indirectly enable people or make people feel like it's okay. So for instance, like when you dating people, right? You dating a woman dating a man and he doesn't do anything with his children. That's wrong. You know what I mean? We keep doing that. Like, oh, it's okay for him to do that. She making up excuses for him and all that stuff.
And that kid gonna think it's okay.
Right. So he's going to grow up to be like that too. And vice versa. Men dating women that don't do much with their children. They don't ensure they're doing after school activities. They don't push support and positivity into them. And you're still dating them. Why? So I think we all can be guilty of.
I think sometimes too, you pouring so much into your kids that you need that break with that.
As far as like relationship?
Yeah, with that other person. Because I had to have a conversation with my kids about that before.
Mm-hmm.
You need that break. And sometimes when you take that break, your kids start feeling neglected. and you might be doing all the stuff in the world with your kids, but when you take that day off to go spend with dude or go spend with her, the kids like, man, she put dude before us. I see
that. Well, you know, that comes from the parent too. I think, like, say, you know, you respond in a good way, right?
That might not be the actual case,
but you respond in a positive way. Hey, your mama need a break, so you co-signing for that. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Versus a parent like, oh,
but
yeah,
how many dudes
gonna
do that though?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's wrong.
When we had that conversation at one time, I told you I would get my kids.
Yeah,
I'd rather have my kids at the crib with me than you go on a date or go kick instead of my kids walking in on something they don't need to see, right. Or them being around this dude who I barely even know. Right. But I know plenty of dudes just, man, so it got to be a team effort. And then you got to think about it. When you still got feelings for somebody, it's kind of a tug of war when you talking about these kids now.
Yeah, that's messed up. But those
because
are conversations
if me and
that
you ain't together no more, and you doing your thing, and now I'm mad that you doing your thing. So when the kids come over, I got something bad to say. And
I never did that. I think
nor did I.
It can be so many factors.
I never did that. I think for me, it was never about me. It was never about me. It was never about me. So for my daughter, whenever me and her dad decided to break up, and we, shout out to him, we co-parented very well. Even him stepping up when I decided to leave, and him stepping in and taking my daughter so I got it together. And then when I got it together, she decided she wanted to be with her dad, which was very hard for me as the mother, because I'm like, what do you mean? But you know, it's just like you said, that I don't understand why women do that.
No, it's
not beneficial.
What you just said, I think that was deep. You saying that, hey, I'm not in a good place mentally to take care of you, and you allowing her to go with her father because that was the best thing, right? And her having that, not that it was resentment, but she's just like, no, I like it over here. Actually, I want to stay over here. This is my comfort zone.
She was at that point where she needed her dad. Like we were together for so long, and then we broke up, but we still had that. Me and her dad still had that bond. Like we stayed close together. But then I decided that Milwaukee, I needed something better.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Is what I'm saying. I'm saying that a lot of women don't have that liberty to say, I need to do something different. I need some time to get me together.
Don't have the option
no, that's what I'm saying. That's why, because we're talking to we're talking about understanding and getting different perspectives. Like, because that's where this came about. A lot of people don't have that liberty, you know. But I think that's super dope of him to give you that, because there's a lot of women out here, and this is to another subject, but this is a lot of women out here depressed and committing suicide and killing their children because they didn't have that outlet.
Well, I think some men think that if they don't get the kid, maybe they're going to stop her from doing her thing. But you got to know, if you're not in that household, eventually some men will be. That's just what it is. Either you're going to be with her or somebody will.
And
eventually.
But don't stay just to avoid that either, though.
What you mean?
Like when you just said that, like if you don't be there, then somebody going to be. Because there's a lot of women in situations where the man just staying around, so can't nobody else be around. But he don't want her. He treating her bad.
Or you got some situations where some men is staying around because of the kids, meaning they don't want to leave the kids. It's a lot of that going on. It's a lot. I know I got a lot of homies that's with a woman and they don't want to be there, but they don't want to leave the kids.
That's messed up.
So now, guess what? The kid's gonna get 18. You're gonna be 50-something years old, and you ain't gonna get nobody.
You go through that as a man sometimes. I felt like at one point in time, me breaking up with her was gonna hinder me being a father. Especially if y'all get into an argument, it might just be for the moment, but you're not finna have my kids around that beat, or you're not finna see these kids, even if it's just a threat and it might not even be true. It's you think about that, like, dang, if I start messing with her, she ain't gonna let me see my kids, and it's a lot of that going on. That's why I said a lot of it goes back to us having kids young. We don't even know who he is yet.
Yeah,
I think I wish we had women that wanted to talk about stuff, saying things like that. Because my friends, I've heard a couple of my friends say things like that, and I've corrected them, held them accountable for that. You're gonna eat those words. Don't ever. It's not your choice to take away a child from their parents. That's not okay. That's not okay. Just because you're upset, that relationship is done, and you taking away a parent.
Like you said, it's always gonna backfire, because in the end, when it comes out, the children are always gonna look at you different. I don't know what it is about the mothers that don't think. I guess they think, well, these are my babies and I'm a mother, and that's cool. But at the end of the day, if you are the reason or you are holding them hostage, it's gonna go bad. I have friends like
resentful.
That too.
They're gonna be resentful.
And I tell them all the time, it's not gonna work out in your favor. You keep thinking because you're the provider and you buying all this stuff, you doing this, you doing that, and it's not that he's not there. He is there, want to be there, want to take care of his kids. But you so evil and mad because he don't want to be with you. It's not about you. It's about these kids.
Like, I do hate that for y'all. I hate that for me.
And it's a lot
when
of
you hear them say
men out here that really want to be there and take care of their kids. And it's these women can't get over it or through it. And I understand because love is love when you love somebody. But at the end of the day, you have to love your children more than your heart hurts for him.
Violence among adolescents is like at an all-time high right now. So what do y'all think is the cause of it? Because I'm talking about they killing each other.
Well, that's because they don't appreciate life and they don't appreciate each other. They don't have anything to appreciate at home. Like, it's just a war, you know? Yeah. You trying to, you really want somebody to care about you, right? I just keep saying parent-teacher conference and things like that. You ever seen the kids that really just needed some help and they needed their parent to support them in that, and their parent just never showed up?
Never showed up.
Like, just even like a field trip is simple to a kid. You know what I mean? And you just never show up, but you can't.
But I think like the kid boys, kid girls. Me and my husband just talking about the kids nowadays think that's a new Power Ranger. These little kids be so excited to see the kid boys.
Yeah, the swerving. I almost slapped my niece because she was too happy. They yakking. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, that what using all this stuff.
Slap you. Why are you so happy?
Fun. It looks fun to them.
That's not a move.
Yeah.
They need more stuff to do, and they need more programs for the kids.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
That's true. I was gonna touch on another subject. So Jock, remember, you was coming here to talk to us about some things. We want to know, like, we want to know a few of those, like what's going on.
Tuning in.
Well, when I was listening to her, I was on the opposite end of that because I came from Louisiana, right?
Okay.
And we really don't have a big family up here. So my mother was always working, trying to, get things together. But I had an older sister. So she's supposedly had been watching over us, but I was doing my own thing because I had to kind of get used to Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? Because we came from, it's like 3,000 population. So coming here, I was like, damn, it was fast. So I'm in the hood trying to, fit in with everybody. And the more I was starting to fit in, I started just like seeing all the people having money. So I'm like, damn, okay. Looking up to them. And then when they started, recognizing you, like, hey, little dog, go to the store for me. You're like, oh, okay. Or you at the park, they want you to hold a pistol or whatever. So I'm starting to feel kind of accepted.
Like a trust. Like they trust me.
So I'm like, okay, cool. So, but eventually for me, I ended up learning how to play basketball because I grew up on the east side. So there's plenty of parks over there. So I ended up playing basketball. But my mother, this is what I think what did it for me. One day she was like, let's go for a ride. And she took us like on 150 Mill Road. And I had never been that far. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, ain't nothing but white people over here. And she's like, well, we finna move over here. And I'm like, not me. And just so happened my auntie stayed behind me. So when a trailer came with a moving truck, I'm like, damn, what's going on? Like, we moving. I'm like, I ain't moving. And I was like 14 and told her this. And ran to my auntie house, said, can I move with you? And she's like, yes. I stayed with her. And that's when I started getting into bullshit. And I'm like, and I never would go out there. So when I finally did, I found out it was black people out there. And I started playing basketball still. And one day, my sister was like, I smell some weed in the basement. I was like, where's that? And I went, she's like, I'm telling. So when she showed me where it was at, I probably was a half a pound. I didn't know what I was doing. I stole it and was selling it at school. I don't know what made me even do that. So that was like the beginning of my shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but I stayed playing basketball. That kind of kept me out of a lot of stuff. But like my mother was always working. She never went to a basketball game. And I was a starter. I was known for basketball. So when they had the parent games and all that, I just look up, I'm like, damn. So eventually, while we was living, I ended up moving out there eventually. And then our lights got cut off once. So I'm like, damn, what the hell? Then her boyfriend cut them back on. The second time they cut them back on. And the third time, they didn't get cut back on. And I'm like, damn, that's fucked up. We way out here, lights off and stuff. And then next thing you know, wasn't nobody there with us. So I'm young, like, damn, what the hell mom saying? We way the hell out here. So I was also cutting hair. So that was like my first hustle. And I said, cut to some guys there. They was having plenty of money, so they was like, "Hey man, you want to roll with us afterwards?" I'm like, "No, I'm hooping, man." But when that happened, I ended up calling them, and they threw me some stuff, and then now I'm hustling, but nobody on the basketball team really knew what I was doing because, like, to this day, they like, "Dude, you not just realized I was walking with you and you bust a move in front of me. I didn't even know what you just did in high school."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so eventually I just jumped out there all the way, and then I was getting into it with my coach because I ain't never had no father figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when we moved from down south, I never seen my father again.
But not to interrupt you,
Yeah.
where'd your mom and her boyfriend go?
I don't know.
They disappeared?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So nobody knew this though. I never told nobody this. So
Oh, this is like an exclusive right now?
yeah.
Oh my
Well,
God.
only probably some people.
You gonna make me cry.
Yeah.
That you always making me cry already.
So, but eventually we ended up getting back with each other. But at that time, I was messed up. You know, I was being in basketball practice. My coach get on me. I just couldn't take it. Couldn't take him hollering at me for nothing. So eventually, I ended up quitting. We was playing North Division one game. He took me out. Then at the game, he was like, trying to get us all geeked up. And I was like, I ain't with y'all. And I was like, I ain't finna do nothing. I was getting college letters. I was throwing them in the garbage and everything. So by the time, right before I graduated, my son's mother was like, dude, hey, if I find a place, would you move in with me? And I said, yeah, but I wasn't serious. I'm like, I ain't even out of school yet. So I ended up getting to it with these dudes, and they ended up coming by the house, guns and stuff. So I'm like, damn, like, I'm about to get out of here because I don't want to be bringing them to my mom's crib. So I ended up leaving, and I just was gone. So a lot of people that knew from basketball didn't know this because they was like, oh, I know he probably finna go do something with himself. So when they was finding out all this stuff happened, they was like, damn, how?
Yeah.
Because nobody knew. I didn't tell nobody what was going, why I even jumped out there like that.
So your sister was taking, how many of y'all was it?
Older sister and younger brother.
So y'all were just at the house to fend for y'all.
Well, my sister wasn't. She had moved out by then and
so
had her
just you
own.
and your brother at this house?
Yeah. So that's why a lot of people don't understand why me and him so tight.
Yeah.
We went through all that. Yeah. Yep.
So what did she say? Why she leave?
We never asked her.
Really?
Nah.
So is that like a trauma point for you too? Like it's never like.
Nah, you know what I think? For me, I don't trust people. Like people be like, dude, you be guarded. And after I thought about it, that's probably what it is. I don't trust people that quick. Oh. Yeah.
So you never, yeah, I think that's something for me too. I don't like getting close to people because I don't know what people will do. Yeah. I still keep something like where I know that I'm still straight when you don't.
When you have a person so close to you let you down,
yeah,
it's hard to let somebody, especially somebody you don't know, in.
That's right. So then when I finally did go to jail, I got told on. So to add that with that, it was like, I don't be trusting people like that quick. Like if you could be around, you gotta really know me. But if you don't know me like that, you're gonna be like, damn, dude, I'm kind of quiet. I'm peeping. I always think somebody got a motive at first. You know what I'm saying? So I don't be so quick to just tell you everything about me because I don't know what you're finna do with the information.
How do you think that kind of impacts your like dating life? Like with
I'm like that. I ain't gonna tell you everything because I done met whenever I was single. If I feel you, like it's been time I done told a whole lot, and then the next week you ain't talking to this person no more. Yeah. So I had that happen a bunch of times. I'm like, damn, what the hell did I tell all my business for? And then this person just disappeared.
Yeah, now I don't know how to bond. I don't know how to bond anymore because I don't know what you're gonna do with it.
Nah, so I just wait. Like I'm saying, like I ain't gonna never ask you a bunch of questions. So if I meet somebody and we vibe, I'm not gonna be so just keep prying. I'd rather just be natural, you know what I'm saying? Just let it flow. You don't tell me, I ain't finna be digging and digging and digging. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't tell me something, I'll wait for you to tell me. Right. But right at the gate, you ain't gotta tell me every goddamn thing about you.
But I think a lot of people do that because that's a trauma bond too, and it makes you feel like you closer to the person once you feel like you know all their business or a good, piece of it. That's deep though.
Yeah, and that's just, dude, I'm telling you. And prior to even me getting caught up, my guy, I ain't really talk about this too much, but one of my friends, before I even caught my first case, my friend of mine's sister got killed. And the way that went, she was 9 months pregnant. And we was all over my friend's mother house. And since we all was hoopers, it was like a hooper community, but a lot of us started hustling. So it used to be at my godmama house. And King was having a prom. And it was probably like 20 deep outside. And one of our guys had did something to somebody, and they kind of, you just let this stuff slide for the season. So when it was hot outside, I remember pulling back up, and one of our guys telling the other guy, like, you should tell dude to leave before something happened. And as soon as he said that, he walked away, and they just started shooting. Like 4 people got shot. When I hit the ground, 2 of my guys dropped in front of me, and I'm looking at my guy's sister, like, why is she still sitting there? Like, why they shooting? And she was 9 months pregnant. I didn't even know she was dead. But since I had some money and dope in my car, they took me to jail and then put it on the news like I had something to do with it. Yeah, because I didn't want to leave. I know I had money in my car. And I had a drop top. So I'm like, damn, if I leave, somebody's going to get me. So I tried to wait at the end of the scene. And then it was like, the detectives want to call and talk to you because I had a burnout phone. So I made the phone call. I'm like, why do you want to talk to me? And he's like, man, just go ahead and talk. And my car wasn't in front of the house where it happened. But as soon as I got down there, like, we searched your car. I was like, for what? And dude looked at it anyway, pulled the bag off. I said, oh, wow.
So many stories like that.
They're going to try to tie the dope into the
shit. So I went down for that and beat that case and got set up on another case.
As long as you did, if you don't mind me asking.
5 years. 5 years. Yeah, I had first case I got 15.
Do you feel like everything you've seen, even with prison and everything you've seen in the streets, have you ever thought about therapy or talking to somebody?
You know what? That's crazy because me and my best friend, when we was just talking about that, he was like, dude, a lot of stuff we see, that wasn't no normal stuff. And he's like, but we act like, it's the hood, this how it go. But really, that ain't no normal, especially because I went in when I was 21. Yeah. So you look at a 21-year-old now, they say a regular kid. I couldn't picture them going through none of that stuff that I went through at that age. Like, it's too heavy. Yeah. So that is, you know what I'm saying? But then the thing is, a lot of times you don't have nobody to talk to about that because they probably, they probably just won't relate. Now, if it's like a room like this, we all can talk, but if a person never been in the street, it's kind of like, how do you bring all this up? Yeah. And I be thinking like, if you bring that up, they looking like, oh, you still thinking about your past. You know what I'm saying? So
when you just really needed an outlet, but that's cool that you and your friend had that therapy talk because that's a lot of men avoid that.
Yeah, I was gonna say because a lot of us who in the streets, we can't have those conversations with a lot of people.
You just gotta be like,
if I'm talking to my guy and I'm like, damn, bro, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you soft, you know what I'm saying? It don't be the sympathy or a shoulder to cry on all the time.
Just make you cold-hearted.
You're supposed to look at it and you're supposed to keep it moving.
I say that for women too, like not too about that. But like when y'all try to confide in women and then something goes wrong relationship wise and then they use that against you because they're trying to hurt you, I think that draws a lot of men back to not want to be as boisterous with what happened.
It's funny he said what he said because I was in restorative justice one time in the joint and they asked us to if we knew anybody that got killed. Now, you got to think it's a panel of inmates. It's like 15 of us. And it's a panel of outsiders who come in, volunteers who come in to help. These is all middle-aged and older white women. So it's probably like 5 or 6 of them, about 20 of us. So as we going around in the circle, we all telling, man, little boo-boo got killed. Little such got killed. And at that point in time, my nephew, who had just got killed. And this is a boy who I just pampered. You know what I'm saying? So that was weighing heavy on my heart. So when we was talking about just all the people we known that got killed, all these people was like, I'm 80 years old or I'm 50 years old. I never knew anybody who got murdered. And it just stuck to my head when the lady came in and talked to us. She was like, what y'all go through is not normal. Yeah. Seeing somebody get killed is not normal. Yeah. Seeing people get shot and going to all these funerals, because I can't tell you, just off the Custer High School, I know about, for real, like 17 people that got murdered. So a lot of times those things go unaddressed. I asked you that because my family been trying to get me to go to therapy, and I'm like, I'm good, I'm straight on. Therapy. 10 years in prison, countless friends, family, relatives, seeing people getting killed, and we internalize and we bottle it up, and then when we be ready to knock a nigga top off, a lot of times it's pent up, everything that's pent up, or I don't want to end up like I seen bro end up. So I gotta go in defense mode. And therapy is something I think we need to start exploring. It's crazy that you said that because, bro, I came up the same way without my mom. My mama disappeared on me, and people had to come get me and things of that nature. And I just bottled that up. And maybe when I was younger, that is a reason why I didn't take relationships with women seriously.
I think that happens to a lot of black men. Like they just don't understand because the woman that was supposed to show you how to. I mean, you can speak to that because your mom is a great mom, right? So yeah, you can speak to that, like that different dynamic of how you gonna handle things. Sometimes it's just your environment. You didn't get the choice to know. Nobody turned down a good parent. You know what I mean? Like you just didn't have the choice.
Our kids with that love.
Not just our kids, but our community. So that's why we talking about this because I mean, we don't just have to have one kid function. We can have one every week. Like it don't matter who hosts it. You know what I mean? I think we get so caught up in who gonna be the leader, who gonna be the face of this, who gonna do that. We all can do it together.
Can I say something? Yeah. Please, y'all grown men, please stop going out there selling waters, juices. I know might not mean nothing to some people, but I'm saying that was a hustle for the kids. Right. Anytime I see them kids out there, I swear, even if I don't, I just give them the money because they out there doing something positive. No, for real, that's not fair. That y'all niggas is getting food stamps and y'all out here selling these waters and juices. That was a hustle for these kids.
I shouldn't laugh, but that's an excellent point. For real. Even the jobs, like because when we was growing up, we had jobs that was for kids, right? When you see that stand,
I was just on the east side the other day. The little girl was out there selling lemonade. I pulled right up. What y'all want? $1 a cup. I gave them all $1. It's a new day. I cashed out. I hit up 5-10 for y'all. Keep doing what y'all doing.
Yeah.
Y'all stop doing that. Y'all 30 years old out here selling water, bro. That's for the kids. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Small stuff like that, it takes away what the kids can do.
The skill set. Yeah. Now we all in the same like I think in households, like making your kids work so early and pay bills, like let me be a kid. Like kids shouldn't have to deal with a lot of the trauma that parents have to, like who gonna pay for the lights? Like, well, I gotta worry about that at 14. Like who gonna pay for the lights? Why do I have to know about that? Just get it done. You know what I mean? Or the
people
food,
like you said, let the kids be kids. Everybody.
They haven't grown up.
I can't wait till I'm grown. Is like the worst thing we ever said.
Man,
I never said that shit.
Very ghetto.
I always said it.
Very ghetto here.
I ain't say
so
that.
I just be real.
A lot of us was in a hurry to grow up though.
Yeah.
A lot of us.
Then when you got there, you like, damn,
this is not it. This is not it.
But that unresolved trauma, bro, I really think we need to try to resolve that some way because I saw so much stuff. And it don't even, I'm numb to it. Yeah. And people be looking at me crazy.
And you know what? Like a lot of times, like I got into it with my cousins or like, I know for me, like sometimes a person come crying about certain things, I'm like, I don't want to hear it. Like, I be kind of like, they like, you ain't got no heart. I'm like, but all the stuff I went through, I didn't have nobody to talk to or nothing. I went through it. And then look what I did. I turned my life around. So it'd be kind of hard for me to hear it.
You got children?
Y'all got some.
Okay. But that's a good point though. A lot of parents in that way. Nobody did that for me. Nobody, but you knew you needed it. You know what I mean? So why aren't you doing it? But not to say it to what you're talking about, but no, I feel that. But a lot of people just go about how they were treated. And that's how they treat it.
And that's why what we were talking about before. A lot of us grew up hard, tough. Yeah. Especially boys. When you fall and scrape it, boy, get up.
Yeah.
You better not cry.
But I told you about that in family with women. Like some women can't cry either. Yeah. I was in a house like that. Crying wasn't acceptable. And if you didn't have it, you wouldn't get it.
Because we was all taught to be strong. Yeah. You know what I mean? Y'all women got to be strong. F a nigga. If he ain't doing it, forget him. I need you. Now, I'm not saying beg him to be there.
No,
you know what I'm saying? But I need you.
That's true because I know that having a two parent household or 2-income household, I would have processed life different. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. I was raised by TV, Family Matters, and all that. But then when I started getting outside, That wasn't
That's
family
not
matters
real
out
life.
there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
there's
it's
nothing
tough.
out there,
Like
nothing
That's
like
why
that.
some of those discussions got to have finances, the importance of getting a bank account.
But the importance of having a good man or a good woman, like to understand that the two people in the household, you can win. You know what I mean? A lot of it's not. You don't.
That's
need
why
no,
some things got to slow down.
Yeah.
It's one thing that I see a lot of parents do too that I don't agree with. Everybody entitled to do what they want to do. But if you was having sex at 14, 15 years old and you finna sit up here and demonize and go at your child about doing the same thing, I'm not that type of person. Me and my nieces like this, I feel like they my daughters. I don't want you to have sex, but if you're gonna do that, please protect yourself and respect yourself.
I think sometimes they mistake that for being okay.
But
They're gonna do
I'm
it
not
anyway.
saying it's okay.
No, you're not gonna do it anyway.
anyway.
No, you're not gonna do it anyways.
Yeah.
You're not. No, you're not.
They're gonna do
You're
it
not.
anyway.
Where you gonna do it?
They gonna find a way.
They gonna find a way, just like how we
Yeah.
found the way. They gonna find a way. They gonna find a way.
They was on the top line.
No, I went to St. I went to Willow
There's
Green.
no
and I
work
went to-
Find a way.
I'm in a park on the bench. You sit on my lap.
No.
These kids
No.
with more fans than
No,
us.
No, I said right now. Yeah, but no.
Oh, they got spots.
No.
They be, you know, them loose parents.
See,
you know,
and then my
parents
daughter went
out
to MCP, and then she went to Milwaukee Lutheran. You get kicked out of school for all that, and then MCP they didn't have no playground like
This
that.
is what I'm saying. I'm not glorifying, or I'm not saying I approve of it, but I'm saying if you're going to do it, I want you to.
I'd rather you
protect
come talk to
yourself.
me. I'd rather you come
Yeah,
talk to me
and
about it than be outside trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and
because either way,
I hear that.
you're gonna
You're
try
gonna do
to
it anyway.
you're gonna
That's
do
just
it
like
anyway.
with me. My mama, I hid my pregnancy until I was 4 months. And when my mom found out, she looked at me. She said, "Girl, your daddy gonna be so mad at you." But she never talked to me about nothing.
Yeah.
So it was like she never came to me and was like, "What you out here doing?"
Yeah.
Or you know.
Yeah.
I put condoms in their pocket. Like I said, I'm not telling them go out and have sex, but I know I can't be around y'all 24/7.
Nah, yeah, that's true. But I guess I'm feeling
I'm
like
trying to
seeing
find
all
some birth
these
control for boys.
seeing all these young kids just outside by themselves, like just all day long. Like who checking for you? You know what I mean? Like
Mama
you just
probably be at work. Working
Yeah,
at
I was gonna
12
say that's
shifts.
because the parents so busy
No, it's
providing.
tough. It's
Working
The
at
parents
12,
are so busy
10, 12
providing
hour
for their
shifts.
kids that they're not
Man.
parenting. So we still have to get back to parenting. Everybody's providing. They buying the latest, they buying the greatest, they buying the games, but nobody is parenting anymore. They too busy trying to be their kids' friends instead of just like, hey, where you at? What you
That's-
doing?
yeah,
or
that's
creating
friends,
that
where
village.
the mama at?
When we grew up, a lot of
That's
times
right.
we didn't have choices. A
Yeah.
lot of these people was giving their kids
Yes.
choices.
Yeah, too
You
many.
can go to school if you want to. I
Yeah,
want you
that's
to go
true.
to school, but if you don't want to go
That's
today,
true.
that's fine. No, you finna get your ass up and go to school.
Or
Yeah.
Like,
family.
they giving their kids,
Yeah.
like she said, they trying to be their kids.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
agree with that. I agree.
Oh,
with
I
that.
agree.
I'm gonna take a gap year. I'm not gonna go to school.
I'm gonna
You know,
take a
I
gap.
agree.
No, you finna go
Yeah.
to school.
Great. I'm gonna
Right.
take a gap. Like
For real,
what?
I done seen people do that.
For
And you,
real.
how is she still in your house? How is he still in your house? He's laying up doing nothing. Well, he's just trying to figure things out. He can figure things out while you're going to school.
Yeah.
He can switch his.
Well,
major,
they
do
be
something
in like
different.
5th grade dropping out now. Like they,
Exactly, because they have a choice. These schools call you if my son's
Attendance,
school
yep.
Yeah.
if
Email,
they
they
miss
call.
first period,
They
second
call you.
period, if they skip lunch, your son such and such was with they know.
Well, y'all,
We also got to touch on one
You know?
last thing before we go. So, Jock, you recently got a pardon, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I think,
Congratulations.
yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
I think people need to know. It's a lot of people that don't even know how the process or how to do that. I think that's important.
Okay. I always had some people tell me prior to me doing it why you never did it. Because now I'm a realtor, right? And
Super dope.
when I do these inspections, it's called a BPO. But when people ask me, I just say an inspection because they ain't gonna know what I'm talking about no way. And sometimes these companies would ask for a background check, and I had to pay for it. And some companies I wouldn't pass. And I'm like, how? I'm not passing when Wisconsin cool me at my license. They're like, well, why don't you just go ahead and get it expunged or whatever? I'm like, it ain't that damn easy. So I always was thinking like that till I seen one of my friends get it. And I'm like, how the hell you get I was locked up, but I know what you did. You got a pardon? So I inboxed him. He told me, and I was like, all right. So I went and looked it up, read everything, and I was like, I could do this. So I called down to the courthouse, asked him what all paperwork I needed, and went and got it, and sat my butt down because I had 4 felonies I had to do. So when you get the form, it's for one. So every question that you have, you got to answer that for each of them. It's going to be some work. So it wasn't easy, but
you got it done.
You got a
And it
pardon
was
for
a
all
process,
4?
you
That's
know,
dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know nobody that.
So
happy
wait,
for you, man.
so
That's
wait,
dope.
so you got a pardon for all 4?
yeah,
What?
That's what's up.
That's
That's
amazing.
major.
Is it state or federal?
state.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. And
But I know they have federal pardons out there too.
They do.
We just got to do some research to see.
Well, that's our time, y'all. You know,
Well,
welcome back.
No, but I want to give a shout out to Deniable. We was representing him today. Well, at least I was.
Yeah.
Duran. No, because he works at Running Rebels, and they do a lot for children, and he does the detention center piece. Like, it's just a lot. So I think that today that was big. We got
Ghetto grind gear.
go ahead,
Yep.
and then
yep, frenemies.
yeah. So it's black people out here
Let them
doing.
know we can get it too, y'all. Let them know we can get y'all stuff too. Y'all merch.
Follow me, Vanquish House on Facebook.
Yeah, I tagged her in the post.
Oh, yeah, you can follow
Jock-
me on either page, Joccity Phenix, or Author Jock Phenix, and my books. So all of them on Amazon. I got 5 books.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we'll be
Yeah.
supporting
Bro,
that.
you
Yeah.
everything. He
Right,
a Mexican,
yeah.
man. He's part Mexican. He do everything.
Making up for that lost time.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But no, even in this, I want to like maybe if you have any resources or anything like that you feel would be useful to anyone that is attempting to get pardoned via state, and then anything you think that would help, you know, with anything we're talking about that would even help a parent or anything, then drop that in the comments. I'm talking. You don't have to talk about it now, but just drop it so they can have that link just going forward.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, tonight that's it. But great show. I appreciate y'all for coming in. Thank y'all.
Thank
so
y'all
much.
for coming out. God
All
bless
right.
and good night,
Appreciate
yo.
I don't gotta come cut it off. This is a little bootleg, but
And 5,
Bloopers.
4,
blue.
2, 1.
Nah, that was dope though. That was super dope.
You ain't cut off.
No, it did. Look, everybody like you know everybody here been in something. Everybody like I ain't talking.
Tone cut us off.
I go over there, cut it off, cut everything off, the whole Sherman Phoenix.
Tone cut us off.
Wings in the fire.
I text them.
Wings in the fire.
Tone cut us off.
Who's in the switch in the basement?
Right.
He up in the other room.
Tone cut us off.
You ain't lying. This after party.
This is crazy.
I was
It's the
walk
after
off. I
party,
was straight
yeah.
looking to see. What the hell they thought we
Right,
talking
you
about?
ain't lying. Might hear something that day, you know what I'm saying?
Did you hear what she said? Like, no.
Like she said she didn't like them kids.
And the other one said she hate Milwaukee.
Right.
Like, what? We did not say that.
For real, dog. Like,
Come on now, Tone. You gotta cut it off, boss.
don't what?
I gotta send them a
I was about to
text.
say something too.
We paying for?
Send them a SOS.
Nah, but we talking, but this is something that we can share. But I think I was talking to people about. Remember how we were talking about going into the parks and just talking to the kids and like maybe bringing pizza or whatever. That it don't matter who get with us to do stuff like that. That we should. I don't know when we gonna start it, but that's something that we should start.
I'll definitely be down.
Yeah. Just randomly going to shoes in the park. I don't know where the kids be at. My daughter finna be 20, but you know, just pop
We
it
gotta call
in.
pizza. Tell them they gotta bring the Bigfoot back.
Or whoever, Domino's, whatever.
Yeah, I
But
thought, oh no, that was New York.
but just doing stuff like that, I think, man, just going,
Lincoln, be having a nice
bringing some
crowd.
little gift bags or something, you know.
Now they gonna hook. They gonna hook.
Oh yeah, we can actually start over there. That'd be dope. That'd be super dope.
Hey, two pieces, $100.
No, what y'all mind doing that? Going to Lindbergh Park? It ain't even called Lindbergh.
No,
No,
it's a different name.
I forgot the name, but yeah, starting over there, it like that share like Keith Atkinson in the middle.
We can do that. Popsicles.
Yeah.
You know, that
Yeah.
stuff ain't expensive.
I don't think we gotta do something to do a barbecue, a little hot dogs or something.
You can do that.
Yeah, we can do that. I'm with that. And I got tables and chairs and stuff, so we could just go and just pop up and just talk to them about everyday life, you know, what they got going on. They need any resources, or you know, maybe they want to take some home to their mamas or something. Get some flyers from people that do things.
I've been talking, got in contact with Deron too. What's his name? Deron.
He was just here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are his shirts.
Huh?
Those are shirts.
Oh man, I definitely got to go.
I got a
Yeah,
sister.
right.
Yeah, I told him I'll send him the money.
I need
I
that
got.
liquor, that liquor one.
Yeah, I had him do that.
I got a sister. She got a lot of resources. Too.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
Tom, where's you at?
Yeah, he tripping. Let me call him.
He didn't hit it.
But no, just getting together doing that, even if we do it once a month or something, I think that'll just be super.
That's what I got to deal with, bro.
Is we for the shirts? What we doing?
Give them to me and then just
My
pay
son
for
said
that.
can we
Pay the little fee.
Come on. This is
So
what
I
I
brought
got to
black
deal
and
with.
white.
16. This is what I
Pick
got
one.
to deal with.
You saw your color?
No.
I did.
My
Sure.
son just sent me this. Said, Dad, can we go?
Wait, the pink one?
No, that's mine.
This on Facebook.
No, it is pink.
That's,
Ain't
uh,
it? You still got a shade of pink?
Oh.
Yeah, mine is pink.
Oh, that's
I'm
okay.
I tried to do bright,
like, no,
pretty
you
colors.
can't go.
That's what I'm saying. I can't do
Limit,
black
right?
and white.
I could pass.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
have,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
just have
I
the
did.
black and white.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was just
20.
Yeah, I'm like, what
Do you want-
send me this
You gonna put this shirt on? What you gonna do?
Yeah, what you mean? I'm about to.
You irritating.
Bro, fall out.
man. I'm finna go press it because it's hurt.
This is out of hand.
You gonna wait till 9:09 and start asking you put your question. Black people. I'm trying to close it out.
Listen, that was I had to get that in there.
You should have got that in there
I
now.
don't even. I had to get that in there.
We was on, yeah, we was on
I need
time
to
constraint
know.
today.
We was on a time crunch. I'm on a time
Because
crunch.
the
I'm
conversation got a little
Yeah, you
deep.
did
No,
say you was leaving at
you know,
9
we trying to make sure bro got his.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all
Where you got
to
to
listen, I am a nursing student, okay? I got
You
class.
love telling somebody you got
You
class 10 o'clock at night.
You don't understand. Life school be schooling. I had clinicals today. I got off the plane and went straight to class. I ain't had notes.
You got class tonight, you gotta study.
I got class. I gotta go home in class. I got an exam tomorrow that I ain't studying.
Nope.
I'm tired. I gotta go.
Your exam tomorrow?
Yes.
Good luck.
Thank you. I'm out.
Bye.
Nice meeting y'all here, Pooh.
Too.
This money right here.
Oh, okay, maybe.
I'm probably gonna see y'all next week.
Hey.
What you want? You know what? I don't got nothing for you but look.
No, not that test out.
Get
Not
that
that
five
test
to the
out.
first. The first chance. Take you back on the first chance to get. I
I
gotta go
want you
too.
to
I
make
gotta
sure.
go work. I ain't gonna be messing with y'all, man.
I'm back down soon.
No, I don't.
Peace out, y'all.
Fun while it lasted.
This nigga in here playing video games. With the headphones on. Bye, thank you. Oh, y'all ain't doing Nice meeting y'all. Where the bag at? Vic. Hey, get them, Tom.
I didn't expect y'all to be done already.